I'm gonna look for you guys to jump on here. Hi D, you addict, you just like love these channels. Oops, turn that off. Well, I am very happy to see you, D. Oh my God, there's a lot of you on here already. All right. We're waiting for some people to jump on, but I just wanted to show you guys I got a couple things in. I'm still waiting for some stuff. I ordered some stuff from, I don't even know. Well, I ordered a whole bunch from Brutus Monroe, right, D? Like we said, we're just going to give Christopher Allen our paycheck. This is a combination of some things I got from scrapbook.com, some Tupelo designs, which I'm still waiting for a couple things from them. Hero Art. So just a couple things. Hi, Melanie. All right. So I'll just show you guys what we got, and then we'll get into playing around with some of the alcohol lifting. So this is a, I think it's a Hero Art stencil. I think it's a Hero Art stencil. I'll double check it for you guys. Before I give you the wrong information here, let me look it up. I don't know where it's at. I put it away already. Anyway, I just got it out because there are some new, I did this yesterday, actually. There's some new Nuvo pastes out. So, as you guys know, I do like the glitter paste. So, this one is called Seaweed Quartz, and it's a very deep green, which is why I played with it. Hello, Margot. Hello, Sherry. Thank you for joining us. So I just wanted to show you guys this paste through the stencil. It might be a Crafter's Workshop stencil. You know, I'm usually very good about taking care of my stuff, and the last couple days I have really gone scatterbrained. And these are just glossy Nuvo drops that I put on top of it. So that's all for that. I also got, this one is called Raspberry Rhodolite. You know what? And I swatched these guys out, so you might want to see those. All right. So these are my little swatches. And if you guys have never seen, I have a little, let me show you my little inventory book here. So I try not to double buy things, so I list what I have and put a sample of it. Number one, it helps me when I'm looking for something, like, is this going to match? But number two, I take this little notebook with me when I'm going to the stamping shows or the scrapbook shows, and then I know at my fingertips what I have. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, while I'm on this. All right. Who done it? Who done it? So, some of you may or may not have seen, I posted a really quick video today earlier. I was checking the mail and I got a package, and inside the package were Distress Oxide inks, and they were all the inks that I didn't have filled out in my chart. And it is still a mystery. I do not know who the anonymous person is that sent it. If it is one of you guys, please come forward so I can say thank you. But I am just like in awe and in shock that somebody ordered Distress Oxides for me and sent them to me. And I don't know who it was. But anyway, and if you know who it was, please tell me who it was. But this is my little like inventory book, mostly like for Copic markers and things, a little Copic chart. I know which ones I have or don't have. So I swatched them out. And then this is what I do for the glimmer paste. So you can see Nuvo Girl. But this is the raspberry. And you can see it truly is a raspberry. So here it is compared to garnet, which is a really deep, dark red. And then here's, let me turn some more lights on for you guys. There we go. All right. And then here is the seaweed green compared to the emerald green and the peridot. And I just ordered from Brutus Monroe their glitter glaze, so I haven't gotten it yet. I want to see how that's going to compare. And then I got some from Bo Bunny here as well. So from Bo Bunny, I got this nice golden yellow. It's just called Buttercup. And I got some more drops. These are all glitter drops. So this one is called Yellow Bird. It's a nice bright yellow. Holiday Cheer, which is, it's a red, but it has some silver mixed into it. This one is probably my favorite. This is called Chocolate Fondue. It's a nice, deep, dark brown color. And Lilac Whisper. So I got some of those. As you guys know, Distress Oxides, Alcohol Lifting. And then from Hero Arts, I got a request to make like a country card. So I thought this would be kind of neat. This is called Cowboy Adventure Die set. So this is the stamp and die set. So there's some cute little images. I like these solid images because I like to do the sunset backgrounds. And then this is the little skull there, which you guys will see. I use this later on in a Creative Vision Stamps card. Okay, you guys want a sneak peek of one of the new Creative Vision Stamps cards? Because I have a video that I'm posting on Sunday. Don't tell Laura I showed it to you guys. All right, so here are the two cards. So if you watch on Sunday, the video on Sunday is going to be this background. Want to guess what I used? Here's a sample of it. Any guesses? All right, so the video Sunday will be on this, and all I used was glossy paper, the new Distress Oxide inks, and I used Distress Glaze. So glossy paper, smush technique with the Distress Oxide inks, and then the Distress Glaze, which is why it looks so shimmery and shiny. It does kind of look like alcohol inks, doesn't it? But it is a little different. And so I made these cards using the new Stick With It stamp set from Creative Vision Stamps. And like I said, I will be posting that video on Sunday. And you guys can see how I made the background. And here is the stamp set. It is on the website, Creative Vision Stamps. She has released it, but it is so cute with the little turtle, snail mail, worth the wait, take it slow, what's the rush, stick with it, and hang in there. And don't forget, you can use code Nancy10 at Creative Vision Stamps, and you can get my design team discount. All right, but we move on to what you guys are really here for. The alcohol lifting. All right, so what we're here for is to have some fun. I wanted to show you guys what I did with yesterday's stuff. So those of you that watched me last night, we made this cute little lift, which I forgot to pull the big guy and stamp him. But I just matted it on some black cardstock. And then over here I have a little washi tape in silver. That one's bubbles, and then some teal glitter. I know you can't see a lot of it. But. And then I'll just put like some kind of sentiment across there. This one is the hibiscus one. Same thing, just mounted it on some black paper, and I'll just put some kind of a sentiment down at the bottom here. And then this one was the print that we pulled from this guy. So we used the alcohol lift ink and we stamped him here, and then we pulled his print and stamped him over here. And I just put that together on, ooh, there's some more of that Distress Glaze background, and then pattern paper. So I just threw those together. And then today I was like, you know what? This would be really cool to do like ghost prints, like an actual ghost. But I don't really have too many ghosts. But I was looking around through my Halloween stamps. And so I did this one real quick. This is Tim Holtz. Let me pull it out and show it to you guys. So this is the Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous Haunted House here. Here's the name of the code for the stamp set. And so I did my alcohol ink, and you guys can see I did that cool foiling technique on there. So it really ages it. but I did orange, purples, green, and black on there. Now, what I learned here is you'll see that it lost some of the detail versus the print. So just look here side by side. Here, it's kind of all mushed together, where here you can actually see the design in the stamp. And that's because I don't think I lifted enough of the wet ink before I started to burnish it in. So you want to make sure you lift enough of the wet ink before you burnish it, so that you can retain some more of that detail. But here's the print, and then also the little bats. Those are Tim Holtz as well, but I think that came out cool. These will look great putting on some card fronts. And then I was playing around because I was wondering about like clear stamps, like silicone stamps, because I was always told StazOn inks and archival inks you should really not use on your clear stamps because it could eat away at them, basically. So I did the experiment, and I used some of these recollections. These are from last year, 2 years ago. So I used this little pumpkin and this little bat and did them on here. They did okay. Now, remember, anytime you're using silicone stamps, you want to prime them first. So I just used my mono eraser and kind of sanded them down, and that helps them accept the ink a little better. It does help that this ink is kind of thicker. So you can see that. I'll hold them up here for you. This is the stamped one. And then these are the lifts. And I think they came out okay. Like, the lines are pretty clean. There's not too much smudging or smearing, which you normally get from silicone stamps. So I think those came out pretty good. Hello, Nicole. Thank you for joining us. I'm just showing you guys what I have been playing with the alcohol lift ink. And then here's the one I did with the bat. Now here, you can see I pressed down on the stamp too hard. So here's the bat, and the Happy Halloween is the Tim Holtz, but here you can see it's kind of muddied there because I just squished the stamp too hard, and I kind of lost some of the detail. So you got to be careful with that. And then I cleaned off both my stamps when I was done, and they seem to be okay. So I think if you're quick and you clean them off and don't leave that ink on there, you should be okay. You know, who knows what the long-term effect is. Oh, in terms of cleaning them. So yesterday I was cleaning them with my microfiber cloth, which is fine. Today I was cleaning them with my new Stampin' Up! Stamp chamois, and it did a much better job at cleaning them. So I'm going to leave that out. Let's play around here. Let's make something. Do we want to keep doing Halloween? Should I give you guys another sneak peek of some new Halloween stamps from Creative Vision Stamps? Yeah, I see the refill is kind of on back order every year, but I don't think we'll need a refill for, you know, at least 2 weeks. All right, so also another thing I learned today that I wanted to share with you guys. The Yupo paper I forgot to mention yesterday. Now I had those pieces of Yupo paper, some of them cut and then some of them I fresh cut. Yupo paper, you don't want to touch it too much because, again, it's a synthetic paper and it absorbs your oils. And I wanted to show you guys my boo-boo so you don't make the same boo-boo. So what happens when you guys, as I'm touching my Yupo paper and moving it all over the place, when you touch Yupo paper or the dust gets stuck to it, and you can't use your anti-static tool on it because then it's going to defeat the purpose of using Yupo paper, the ink won't move. So I want to show you. And I was like, maybe I'm using the wrong side. So what happens is when that Yupo paper gets, I'll say, contaminated, see, that ink is not moving. It's basically just sitting there, which is great if you want a polka dotted background. But I was like, okay, why is it not moving? Let's go, ink. And it just sat there. So then I thought, maybe I'm using the wrong side. Maybe there's a good side and a bad side to Yupo paper, right? So I flipped it over. It was no better. So then I thought, maybe I need to put more ink on there. Yeah, you can see that it just turned into this awful, ugly, muddy mess of ink. just sitting there. So I took my straw to it and I started blowing it around. And then I realized, you know what? This piece of Yupo paper has probably been out on the desk collecting dust and been moved a million times with all my fingerprints. So I think I probably, the best way to say it is contaminated it. And that's why the alcohol ink is not moving around on it. So when you get your Yupo paper, try to keep it clean. Try not to put it in a dusty area or keep it fingerprinted. Keep it in the packaging until you're ready to use it. Any pieces that you cut that are extra, put back into the packaging. And I think that will kind of retain the properties of Yupo paper. But I don't think there is a right or a wrong side. I just think that this paper just got exposed to too much dust and debris and fingerprints. And that's why it just didn't accept the ink anymore. And you can see it's very difficult to tear Yupo paper. It is plastic. You can cut it. You don't want to take a heat gun to it because it will get all melty. Somebody said if I switch my scissors over, then it won't have that serrated edge, but that didn't help. It's still serrated. Anyway, so keep your Yupo paper clean. All right, so we got two pieces here. We're going to lay down some colors. Oh, what the heck. I'll show you guys the new stamps. If I get in trouble, I get in trouble. All right, so this is actually an older one. This is Werewolf stamp from Creative Vision Stamps. It is photopolymer. It's Werewolf, Howl and Growl, All Hallows Eve, and Beware. But this is the brand new set. I just got this one. You guys will be seeing the release for this from the design team, and it's so stinking cute. Okay, so we have, this is called Pet Monsters. Happy Halloween. Have fun, you little monster. Trick or treat. Give me candy. And then we have like this little raccoon Frankenstein guy. He's a little mouse dressed up as a bat, or I guess a vampire. This little candy cat in a candy corn. And then the little mouse in the dinosaur costume. Let me show you guys my sample card for that. Hold on a second. You guys aren't supposed to see these yet. So here's the card that I made for the sample. And what I did here was in the background, I took little, what do you call that? Dies, like gravestone dies. And then I put this little fence up. And so it looks like they're in front of a graveyard. This is a distress ink background. I put some bats on there and then just colored those guys and stuck them on there. So that's the new Halloween stamp called Pet Monsters from Creative Vision Stamps. So you guys got 2 sneak peeks of freshly released stamps. I don't want to use these on my with the alcohol ink yet, but I showed them to you guys. We'll just keep playing with the Tim Holtz stamps. All right, so let's do some more Halloween colors here. We'll do one like purples and blacks. This one, I don't know what the name of these are. Some of them are, I don't know if they're just not in English or they don't have names on them. It's purple. That's all I can say. And it's moving. Yay. So we have good Yupo paper here. And then I have a darker one. This one's called Eggplant. It's very addicting. And notice, you guys, I got the fresh manicure today. And so I had alcohol ink all over my fingers. And then, thank goodness, I keep rubbing alcohol on my desk. So it's easy cleanup. So we have the lighter purple, the darker purple. Should we throw some orange and green in there, or maybe some black? Yeah, I don't know why they don't have names, Cheryl. It's just weird. This one's in Spanish. So I don't know where I got this one from, but it's all in Espanol. I'm going to throw a little black in there. I notice it shows up better when you do the darker colors. Let's see if I have like a dark, like a navy. Here we go, indigo. Hi, Patsy. Welcome back. We're just playing around here with our lift ink and our Yupo paper again. Someone else commented they tried to make this solution with glycerin and what was that? The blending solution. So I don't know. Try it, play with it, and see. I mean, now that I have it, there's no reason for me to do the DIY. Scrapbook.com still has these in stock as of yesterday. They're out of the refills, but Scrapbook.com yesterday I noticed does have them in stock, and their shipping was pretty quick. All right, so we're going to give that one a second just to set up. Should we put some more colors on there? Should we layer some green on there? Or should we leave it like this? There's some white spots on there. I'm going to fill it with some green. I'm going with a little darker green. Yeah, Nicole, I don't know. I usually pick them up at like scrapbook shows or, you know, card shows and stuff like that. All right, some of those areas that are dry, I'm just kind of layering it. You can see how it moves that color out of the way. Ooh, it's mixing with the blue, and it's turning into like a teal color there. It's very pretty. All right, so I'm going to slide this one out of the way, and we'll work on this one quick. Let's do this one in traditional oranges. I only have one orange. I know, I need a lime, D. I need a lime. Look, I'm getting alcohol ink all over my fingers already. Patsy, I was saying you want to make sure you keep your Yupo paper clean and dust free, because if you don't see the ink spreading out and moving like that, it might mean that your Yupo paper got exposed to too many elements, and you can try flipping it over and using the back side. Let's see. I'm trying to read your comments. Nicole says, Tim Holtz says you can wipe it off with blending solution and start over. You probably could, Nicole, but at that point I had so much ink on it, it wasn't even worth it for me to do that. That looks very Halloween-y. I feel like I should be playing like some spooky music in the background. It has been so rainy and crummy here, guys. Like, I'm really sick of this weather. It dampened or cut my vacation short a little bit. So whoever sent me that package today, it really made my day. I'm just like super stoked. And now I'm going to have to play around with some Distress Oxide inks. I'm going to put a tiny bit of black on this. I am in Pennsylvania, about an hour away from Philadelphia. I grew up everywhere because my dad was in the military, but the majority of my life has been in Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, and now here. I think we're losing a little bit of our orange here. Let's put some more orange in here. I saw like a sneak peek of some of the new Tim Holtz Halloween stuff. I think it was scrapbook.com posting it. So I am excited to see those new stamps. But yes, a lime green alcohol ink is definitely on my shopping list. So I just used some black, some purple, some orange on there. I don't have the alcohol ink tools yet either. Cheryl, I would love to thank my dad for his service, but unfortunately he passed away about, I think we just passed 7 years, and He actually passed away from getting contracting Agent Orange from Vietnam. So he is actually at the military base graveyard. All right, so I'm going to just wipe my fingers here a little bit. I just have some alcohol. Patsy had a package sent to her at one time a while back, and it had some packaging that had a lot of some kind of shining cardstock. Oh, yeah, that might work. All right, so I'm just taking rubbing alcohol, paper towel, and it will take 99% of that ink off. If you don't have one of those little chamois, I think it's called a scrub, a scrub. It's basically a pumice stone. I keep mine upstairs next to the sink. It takes ink off of your fingers so well. It's a little, I think Ranger makes it too. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. It gets tough at times because my dad and he was my best friend, and he actually lived with me. So it's hard sometimes when I come home and want to talk about my day and say, you know, hey, Dad, I'm home. And then I realize, oh, he's not here. And you want to use a nonstick craft mat, and same thing. You're just going to take your little alcohol swabs and just wipe it down. It's really easy to clean up. And it dries pretty quickly. I think we're almost ready to go here. Now, at this point, if you wanted to do the foiling technique that I showed yesterday, again, you would just take the foil where it's pulled up there, where it's not 100% dry. It's 95% dry. And again, just using some Creative Vision Stamps foil, but any foil you have should work. And we'll get that cool foiling effect. However, if you do that, anything that you do in terms of pulling your print off of that area, the foil is now blocking that. So just keep that in mind. But I just wanted to show you guys that in case some of you guys missed that yesterday. Okay, so let's pick out some stamps here. Let's pick out some different ones than yesterday. How about this, like, what do we got here? Oh, I need my regular cardstock. I got a couple of pieces of that. Got that right there. And I'm just using Nina Solar White. I have my alcohol lift ink, and you guys can see I've definitely have been using it, and some of my stamps were not as clean as I would have liked them to be. Let me grab some stamping blocks. How about this little skeleton guy? That's this guy off of the Tim Holtz. So we're going to make sure he's clean. I'm just going to wipe him down in the stamp chamois quick. Okay, and I'm going to take the alcohol lift ink. And I want to have my other paper next to it. Yeah, Dee, I was thinking that too. We'll do that next. Let's just stamp him over here. Straight up and down. No wiggling, no moving, because this is a slick surface. You will distort your image. Straight down, straight up. Ooh, he's pretty. And I'm cleaning my stamp off. That's cool. It looks like an X-ray. So easily entertained. Okay, Dee, I'm getting the spider web out for you. Let's do that up in the corner here. Straight down. I should have some kind of a mat underneath, but these are rubber stamps. We should be all right. Ooh. This is what I've been doing all day. Ooh. Ah, it's like magic when you get that print off of there. Let's see here. We don't have a spider. Let's see if I can find a spider. Ooh, I found some other ones. Okay, here's a little spider. It says Stamps of Life, older one. It's got a fat little spider on it. He's more cartoony, but that's okay. Ooh, I think I might have smudged that one. What else do we got here? How about a more solid image? Let's try this crow because it's more solid. Raven, I guess it is. Wow. That is cool. You know, it almost looks like a watercolored image. So then let's put the lid back on this. And then I have my paper towels here, so I'm just going to blot the images on this side. So you can see they transfer as the ink lifts. You can still see that there are wet spots on the ink. So you just want to take your paper towel and just rotate it into a clean part of the paper towel and then lift that ink before you buff it. Because if there's any of that ink left there when you go to buff it, it will transfer. It will smudge. And see, because we waited a while, that spider web came out pretty nicely. All right, that's pretty cool. So here is the alcohol ink panel. So you can see how nice the lines came out on the spider web there. There's our skeleton and how solid the raven looks. And then here is our prints and all the different colors that are in these guys. So neat. Slide those out of the way. Okay, for this one I want to use, I just pulled this out of my stash. This again I think was last year's Recollections. It's these Day of the Dead skulls. I think they would look good with these bright colors. Let's see how they turn out. Any questions? Anything you guys want me to try? Yeah, that I noticed it really transfers nice on the darker colors. So again, these are silicone stamps. If you don't know the difference between silicone and photopolymer, I have a video that explains them. But these are silicone, and so when you get the silicone stamps, you want to make sure you prime them. Just take an eraser. This is a sand mono eraser, and just rub that stamp down. That'll help the stamp accept the ink a little easier. Make sure that this isn't sticky anymore, which is good. All right, so let's ink this up. And I want to make sure that it's all glossy and inky. I kind of missed a spot down there. All right, let's see here. I think this is going to come out cool because of all the different colors. Oh, you guys, I can see through the stamping block. It's so cool. That is so neat. Look at that. And that's a silicone stamp. That is cool. All right, so I'm going to clean that one off. And then there's another one. We're going to put that one next to it. Now, if you don't think you have a steady hand and you want to use a MISTI tool, I don't see how that would be a problem. You would just use your MISTI stamp in and then pull that paper out and then put your other paper in and stamp down. Ta-da! That is so artsy. Oh my God, you guys, so cool. And that's alcohol ink, so it's permanent. It's not going anywhere. It's dried instantly. That's regular Nina Solar White cardstock. So it's like having a multicolor ink pad without having the mess of a multicolor ink pad. And you get 2 cards out of it. You get 1 and 2. So I'm going to stamp a couple more images on this one, and then we'll lift it and see what it looks like. Oh, here's a tiny little skull. I don't want to put that on there. Let's do it on this one. This is like my collage one over here. It's got beetles, little beetles. Oh, here's a really detailed one. Okay, I think we're done messing with that one. So let's do the reveal. Again, we're going to take our paper towel and just blot off that excess ink. You know, I didn't think about it. You could probably even take a piece of plain cardstock and run that through your Big Shot or your embossing machine, and it would probably print that excess ink onto another piece of paper. All right, so I have that all lifted, I believe. So let's burnish it. So cool. This is going to look really cool. This you could almost use like for a fall. If somebody's doing like a Halloween themed wedding, you know, people are into that. You could even put like congratulations on here. And then I really like the print on this. This is just really pretty. Pretty skulls. How ironic. Let's see how these little bugs came out over here on this one. And you can just let that sit. The longer you let that sit, the more ink it's drying. So you're not hurting anything if you can't get to it right away. If you're a slow mover, it's fine. The only fast part is moving it from here to there. So there's our little beetle and our little skull. I'm glad I didn't put them on the other one. I really like this one. This is my favorite. What do you guys think? I know, Cheryl, I didn't think I was going to want it either, but I got a lot of questions from you guys. So that's why I always try to do the DIY first, because you know me, I like to save some money so I can spend it on other craft stuff. So I'm not a big alcohol ink person. So I thought, all right, I'm not going to get that. But then you guys were all like, did you do the alcohol ink yet? Did you do the alcohol ink yet? So I had to get it. And scrapbook.com had it a little cheaper than everybody else. I'm going to say like 50 cents cheaper than everybody else. So you guys can see these are the ones that I did earlier if you're just coming in. And then I'll just put them on some, I will probably mount them on black cardstock and then put them on some card bases and heat set some sentiments. I think some white embossing powder sentiments, or I got some of that new Brutus Monroe embossing powder in the grape fizz and also the orange. Those would probably be some neat colors. Here's the orange. That's very autumn. Like that's from Brutus Monroe. I'll probably heat some sentiments like Happy Halloween, whatever, on there, and they'll really make it pop. So there we go, guys. If you like this video, you can scroll all the way up to the top and give me a thumbs up. That'll pass this video on to other crafters that are looking for alcohol lift ink. If you have any questions or anything else you want me to try out, give me a shout out. I'll be happy to help you guys out. And if you know who sent me those Distress Oxide inks, please tell them to come forward so I can give them a thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. And don't forget, on Sunday will be that video on the snails, and using the Distress Oxide smush technique on the snails. So you guys will see that video coming up on Sunday. Thanks for watching. Have a good night and keep on stamping. Bye, guys.